You got to bring some ass to get some ass. We brought ours and simply got it kicked. That's okay. But it's not as bad as these numbers look dreadful.
They're terrible.
But as we talked prior to hitting the record button, we were down 7 with the ball in the red zone and fumbled. If we punch it in there and tie that game up, as bad as these numbers look, who knows what would have happened?
Last week, you heard me use words like destiny and fate. And this week, you're going to hear me use words like uh-oh and Welcome to Six Rings and Counting. I'm your host, Corey Idle, and joining me to help explain away the 27-13 loss in Philadelphia, maybe a curse, is my man, Lou Willard. Lou, help me. Help me. What has happened?
We still trying to get the ball back from them. They still have the ball. That's all that happened. Look, it's like I told them on Facebook, and excuse my French, like my dad always said, you got to bring some ass to get some ass. We brought ours and simply got it kicked. That's okay. But it's not as bad as these numbers look dreadful.
They're terrible.
But as we talked prior to hitting the record button, we were down 7 with the ball in the red zone and fumbled. If we punch it in there and tie that game up, as bad as these numbers look, who knows what would have happened? But I did tell y'all last week, go back and listen to the show, Saquon Barkley wasn't getting 75 yards. Dude has 65. Him and Derrick Henry couldn't get out the 60s. I told you, you just ain't gonna line up. You just ain't gonna line up and run over Pittsburgh. Now they play keep away is what they did. They play keep away on us. I can dig it. I can dig it. Because
I tell you what, one of the most impressive things this season for the Steelers has been your predictions, because you've been on fire.
Yeah, it's just because I know I watch every game, and since they've come up with all this new technology, I usually watch them all 2 or 3 times because I'm just a football. I'm a junkie. I'm a football junkie. But Pittsburgh sold out to stop Saquon.
Yep.
And the Eagles said, "Oh, okay. Well, then can y'all guard us one-on-one on the outside?" And they got their plays off on us is what they did. And our offense didn't make enough plays. We played it too conservative throughout the game. This was the Arthur Smith offense that we all feared would show up. His play calling. But when they opened it up, they got behind 17. They got behind 17-3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on the phone with Bub. Those of you don't know, that's my cousin. And I said, we got to start punching back or we about to get run out the stadium.
Yep.
Bat, 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 bat. Mindy said, what you yelling for? My wife. What you yelling for? I said, because we got to punch back or we getting run out the damn stadium. Right down the field, score.
Well,
go back down the field, kick a field goal. Now it's 17-13. I said, how come we ain't been playing like this? They weren't in a prevent defense.
Punching back is the appropriate metaphor here because it looked like we were getting bullied up and down the field on both sides of the ball. Now, defense did play well, but they were on the field so long.
The whole time.
The whole damn game.
Man, we lost the time of possession 40 minutes to 20 minutes.
Yes, sir.
I mean, if you want to get specific, 39-52 to 28 or 20-08. Crazy.
Those 8 seconds didn't matter. Those 8 seconds were a Najee Harris fumble, so you can scratch that.
And then, they get there, and everybody's asking Mike Tomlin what he thinks about the officiating. Okay, if you look at some penalties or whatever, I don't know how they turned out. They had more penalties than we did. Mm-hmm. The one that came, they had 7 for 54. We had 5 for 60. Okay.
Yep.
But the ones that came into question were the fight that broke out that took Pittsburgh out of touchdown range.
Yep.
We ended up kicking a field goal. How does a full-blown fight break out and they throw flags and the only 2 people get penalized wearing white jerseys?
Well, like I said, the referees have families too. This game was in Philadelphia.
You did text
And
that.
having Pittsburgh mad at you is much easier than having a battery chucked at your head.
You look,
Just
you did text that. I was cracking up too. But I said, how can, and then 27 he threw the first 3 punches.
Mm-hmm.
All Darnell Washington did was block his ass out of the back of the end zone. You don't want to be blocked out of the end zone, get off the block.
That's it.
And he started throwing punches. And Darnell Washington never threw a punch and got flagged.
Mm-hmm.
He got flagged for blocking him out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, the referees were preserving their own lives in this situation. I'm actually going to cut them some slack. We're going to keep it a buck, man. These guys got families. They're trying to make it to Christmas.
But I said, damn, how a full-blown fight break out and only one team catch the flags? I said, okay, here we go. But again, Pittsburgh did not get cheated. They got out Pittsburghed.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
100%.
We like to keep the ball from people. They kept the ball from us, and we couldn't get that sumbitch back. They got that ball back with 10:54 left. We never saw it again.
Yep. And we love to punch teams in the mouth. And
if we did, we saw it one
punched.
time, but I don't think we ever got it back.
No.
With 10 minutes and 54 seconds left. Never saw the damn ball again. So there you go. Ball game.
But there is good news.
Absolutely.
We clinched our playoff spot.
That's
right now. We're holding on to the 3 seed. We are now officially 1 game behind the Bills for the 2nd seed, 3 games back of the Chiefs, who they just keep doing Chiefs things. It is what it is. Texans are at the 4 spot right now. Ravens, Broncos, Chargers are still highly in the hunt. And I mean, the guys in the bubble, the Colts, Dolphins, Bengals, they're about 10% or less chance to make it. So AFC's starting to get really kind of set in their playoffs. Pivotal game, Mr. Willard, coming up this week against the Baltimore Ravens.
It's for the division.
What are you seeing for it? Are they even going to score a touchdown in this game?
They as in who?
Anybody. I think this game might get thrown out in the first quarter. Everybody's been ejected. This is going to be a fight. And here's why I say that, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. Because I know it usually takes you 40 minutes to tell me if I'm wrong. What I'm seeing here is Pittsburgh just got bullied. They don't like that. They're going into a divisional game against the Ravens. The Ravens just sent a message to Pittsburgh in their game against the Giants that they don't give a damn. They're going to put up some points. I don't see that happening. This is going to be a fight.
We all know what's coming Saturday. It is going to be physical from the word go. They know the division's on the line. If we win it, we win the division. We're already in the playoffs. They're playing, if they win, they clinch a playoff spot and they hang in there and tie us for the division. Then it comes down to tiebreakers from there with 2 games remaining. This, like I told you earlier, there's probably people tailgating there already. That place, the best thing for Pittsburgh is this is not a night game. It's going to be dark when it's over. I wish it started at 1 o'clock, but I think it's at 4. I think they play at 4 o'clock. Is it 4? I wish it was the 1 o'clock game, but I believe that's the Chiefs and the Texans. I think that's the Texans at the Chiefs is the one. I wish Pittsburgh had the 1 o'clock game.
And Baltimore is very dangerous when the sun goes down. I will say that. You don't want to get trapped in Baltimore when the sun goes down.
I ain't going to people. But the faster the game start, the less amped up and fueled up that crowd could be.
Yes.
So this thing is going to be kicking off, and it's going to be getting dark when it kick. And them fools going to be out there. They're going to be drunk, rowdy, loud. And now with all that being said, this is where you have to have a coach like Mike Tomlin and a quarterback like Russ who can bring everything down. Because trust me, I played for Ohio State. You go on the road, people hate you, but you realize really quick they can't come on the field. All they can do is scream and holler.
Right.
Then they'll throw some shit at you. But it happens. But it's 11 on 11. It's our 53 against their 53 at the end of the day. Those fans cannot come on that field. So all that's just noise. What it does is you do lose. We got to go silent count. They don't have to go silent count. So they get the edge on us there.
Yep.
We got to go silent count. So they can watch the play clock like we watch the play clock and know when the ball going to be snapped. That's one of the biggest things you lose. I look for Pickens to come back this week. I watched the presser yesterday. Tomlin's still not sure if he can or not, which you just won't know. Then it could be, 2 plays, and he could be back out. It's a hamstring. I mean, I'd rather him set all this out and wait till the playoffs if that's what it's going to be. But I'm going to need my man Mike Williams to earn a paycheck.
Somebody's got to do something other than Calvin Austin.
Calvin Austin.
That little man is trying hard.
Yeah. And his name is Mike Williams. Earn a paycheck.
Got to.
But I did like the fact that he had the targets. He's getting some targets. But damn, man, produce something. You got to do something. Now we looking at you.
Let me ask you
this is why you were brought here.
Because I'm with you 100%. You got Russ, you got Mike. That's all great. We got to talk about the X factor, man. And he makes us do it every damn week to the point where I had to shave my mustache. I was so disappointed. I said, I'm not being associated with this man anymore. Our play caller on offense, dude, you brought him up earlier, Arthur Smith. I'm getting the sense from Mr. Smith, and I know he's not the head coach, but I know Mike also lets his guys run their squads. I'm getting the sense that this man is a little bit of a choke artist when he gets hit in the mouth. Not in a big game necessarily, because we've been able to compete in big games on offense. I've seen it, so he can make those calls. But when he goes up against a defense that is tough, and I don't mean good, I mean tough, physical, he kind of shrinks up a little bit, like me coming out of the pool.
He's shown that, but this isn't that defense. The Eagles' defense is so much better than the Ravens' defense. The Eagles are a problem. And like I said, if you saw my Facebook stuff, we're going to need that rematch in the Super Bowl. Because nobody in the AFC scares me for Pittsburgh to play in the playoffs. Nobody. I don't care where the game at. Buffalo, everybody, Josh Allen, he is the MVP. I still think it should be Saquon Barkley, but it will be because it's a quarterback award. Not saying Josh Allen doesn't deserve it, but Saquon Barkley does as well. But when Pittsburgh just locked him down, that knocked him out.
Yep.
Now, Buffalo's putting up 40-something points, but you're putting them up on teams that don't play defense. You ain't putting up 40-something on the Steelers. Have you not got the memo? You ain't putting up. So I don't fear playing anybody. The Chiefs, all you got to do is get past all the calls they're going to get. Don't get near Mahomes.
Well, that's it.
If you get to him, just push him down. Whatever you do, don't put no shoulder pads on him. But this game here is going to be physical. These teams know each other. There's no secrets coming. There's no secrets at all coming. It could very well go down to who has the ball last, and we got the better kicker. I mean, it's going to be one of those type of games. We're playing to lock up the division. They're playing to get in the playoffs and tie up the division. Everybody, all hands on deck. And it looks like TJ Watt's going to be able to play, and away we go. And the first thing we have to do again is stop Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and to lose
Lamar going to Lamar. He ain't scoring no damn 5 touchdowns though, but he going to Lamar. Which eventually you think he's got to have a good game against the Steelers because he never has. So eventually a blind squirrel find a nut. You just hope it ain't this week.
Well, I thought a blind squirrel was going to find a nut in Philadelphia last week. Maybe the first nut they found since 1965. And guess what didn't happen?
No. I almost called the score. If Pittsburgh scored that touchdown, I'd have been pretty close to the score. But Najee just dropped the ball. But
and going back to real quick, going back to your point about the teams in the AFC and the playoffs. Right now, if you look at the playoffs schedule, there's one team whose defense hemmed us up. That's the Broncos.
That was week 2.
You got the Chiefs, you got the Bills, us, Texans, Ravens, Broncos, Chargers. If we've played them, we've beat them, and we're getting ready to play them. And I mean, to your point, and I guess to more of what I was saying too with Arthur Smith is, if you got a good defense, Arthur Smith goes away. And I know the Ravens aren't a good defense, but it's going to be physical. And
they're getting better.
That's what terrifies me, is it's going to be physical. And Arthur Smith doesn't really seem to like his offense being physical, which is so weird.
The Ravens defense is getting better.
Mm-hmm.
Denver held us down in week 2, and you're also playing – Russ didn't play them.
Right.
So the only defense to really shut Pittsburgh down was the one you just saw, was the Eagles. Mm-hmm. Other than that, Russ was putting up, I think it was like 27 a game. If Pittsburgh can put 27 points a game up from here on out, we got to change the name of this damn show, because that's the Super Bowl. If they score 27 a game, it's a wrap. With that defense, it's a wrap.
I agree.
Because that 27 means our defense ain't on the field all game long. And they're going to wreak havoc. They're going to wreak havoc on Lamar. They're going to play the run. They're going to blitz the run to the quarterback. And you understand what that means because you know football. They're going to play the run to get to Lamar. On the way to Lamar, they're going to make sure they stop what's his name, running back? Derrick Henry.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going to make sure they stop him on the way to Lamar. They got to watch that zone read, which they've seen it. There's no secrets coming in this game. There's no secrets coming. This will be the ugliest football. This football game is ugly like it was last time, like it was last. Every single time, it's an ugly game. It's a slugfest, and you just hope nobody gets hurt is what you hope.
Well,
because it's going to be physical.
Bringing up the last game. Let's play a little game here. We got 10 minutes left or so. I want to play a little game with you just to see what you're thinking here. And
I hear you,
for everybody out there, that's it. You want to play a game? For everybody out there, do not bet on this. We're not saying this is a gambling situation for anybody. This is just me and Lou having a conversation here, just to kind of gauge what the Ravens are going to do against us. Lamar Jackson, the last game. 16 of 33, 207 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Give me his yards over or under 207.
Passing or total?
Passing.
He'll be 207. If they want to win, he's going to have to go over.
Okay. So what do you say he's going to do though?
He's going under.
He's going under. All right. Under on the 207. Derrick Henry threw Saquon Barkley at 65 yards. Over under. Or
he's got to go. Look, he's a proud man. So 65 yards, he'll go over, but he won't see 75.
All right. I could dig that. And last but not least, real quick, and then we're going to roll over the Steelers. Isaiah Likely. He was their leading receiver last time we played him in the 18-16 victory. Isaiah Likely had 4 catches for 75 yards. Over under on both of those.
Oh, absolutely under. He'll be a non-factor.
Boom. There it is. Let's look at what the Steelers did last time. 205 yards for Russ and an interception. He going over or under?
Look, if we're going to win, his ass better go over because we just ain't lined up running over him.
It better be more than what he passed for last week. I'll tell you that. If there's a 1 in front of that yardage number, we lose.
Yeah, and hopefully we get Pickens back. And hopefully Mike Williams decide he want to actually earn his check.
That would be really nice.
But he's going to have to throw for Russ is going to have to throw for 275 for Pittsburgh to win this game because you're not lining up and just running over the Ravens. You can throw on them, but you just ain't lining up running over them. Just like you're not going to line up and run over top Pittsburgh.
No. And to give you an example of that, Najee Harris in the last game, 63 yards. His average was 3.5. Jalen Warren's was a little better at 4.6. But those aren't what our average has been all season long.
No, and he got 63 based on the volume of touches. How many carries did he have?
18.
See, there you go. It's a volume of carries because those dudes, man, look, it is a blood and guts game up front.
Yes, sir.
And he ran hard. It wasn't for his lack of effort. He wasn't missing holes. He wasn't, like my old high school coach used to say, pussyfooting around. You know, he was running hard. It's just that game. So Russell's going to have to step up. Mike Williams is going to have to step up. Because remember, this was the game I told you, oh, Russ, it ain't too familiar with the way the AFC North work. Brother, you gotta nut up and play. Or you're going to get knocked out.
Yep.
You're going to get knocked out because somebody going to light your ass up. That's just the way this stuff works. This is the best 2 games of the year. I love them. I love them every year. I love to hate them because I always go, when Lamar going to get loose? Because if he do, you might as well just wave him goodbye.
Yep. Well, this is what makes this division so much fun, just from a fan perspective, is you get the Steelers against the Bengals. That's a shootout. You get all the scoring you want. Then you flip it over, and then you get the Ravens, and you get the Steelers, and what's that? Just a slobber knocker, to borrow a phrase from JR. Just a slobber knocker out there.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the Browns. When Pittsburgh go to Cleveland, you know it's going to be an ugly game. Pittsburgh's probably going to lose. Then they come to Pittsburgh, and everybody go, "Oh, we'll just watch the game because we know we're going to beat the hell out of them."
Exactly.
And that's just the way those work. You play Cincinnati, and it's like, well, first one to 40. Because that's that game. Play Baltimore, man, look, who can get to 9? Can anybody get 9? If you get 9, you're probably good. Because these teams, nobody is pulling a surprise on antibody. And now this is in their venue. And it's kicking off right when it's getting dark, and these fools going to be out there charged. That stadium is going to be loud. So we got to go to silent counts, which is going to slow our offensive tackles down, which is going to help their pass rush, which means Russ has to get rid of the damn ball. So you'll see a lot of shorter routes, but hopefully Pickens plays. And again, Mike Williams, come on, man. And we could take some shots because our receivers are bigger than their DBs, with the exception of Kyle Hamilton, who is a all-pro, probably best safety in the league, in my opinion. And next to Mika, him or Mika could fight that out. Or Jesse Bates. There's a few of them, but he's in the conversation as the best safety in the league. A young man is an excellent football player.
You keep bringing up Mike Williams, rightfully so. He needs to show up and show out. What does he need to produce for us? Give me a stat line for Mike. We talking 4 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown?
He's got to go triple digits in a tutty. Okay. I mean, especially if Pickens doesn't play. He's got to go 100 and a touchdown, if not 2. If Pickens plays, if he can go 6-7 catches for 60 yards, and if he scores, great. But just the 60 or 70 yards means if he got 6 or 7 catches, means he has 9 targets. Means they're trying to get him incorporated into the offense. I mean, because you're going to see a lot of the screen game and dump offs to Warren and Najee until that rush slows down, because again, it will be a silent count. They know we have to do a silent count. Pittsburgh knows it's a silent count already. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They're so familiar with this. This is not a secret. That place is going to be rocking. Somebody for Pittsburgh on the offensive or defensive side of the ball has to take that damn crowd out that game.
Yep.
And it has to be Mike Williams. Because they're going to be locked up on Pickens. It has to be Mike Williams.
Right. George Pickens in the last game had 8 catches for 89 yards.
And he's going to have another 8 for 89 if he plays. Yep. But that's not going to be enough. There's not going to be a damn 18-16 win.
No.
The ball going to have to find the back of the end zone at least twice to win this game. I
Yep.
mean, this is a 23-17 game.
Oh yeah, we can't have a game like last week where we have what is it, Freiermuth with 4 catches, 30 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah,
that dog just ain't gonna hunt.
I mean, if he do,
to borrow another phrase,
if it does, he better be one of 3 different people to score.
That's it.
Because we're going to need this. We need to score 24 to win this game this week, in my opinion.
Well, and here's your gap with Mike Williams. Okay, Russ last game 23 for 36. He had Pickens with 8 catches. Najee and Jalen Warren had 4 each. They were second. Then Darnell and Pat Freiermuth came in with 2 catches. Skoranek had 1 catch. Patterson had 1 catch. Van Jefferson, none. Calvin Austin, 1 for -1 yard. There is a lot of room and a lot of catches out there available for a big number 2 receiver like Mike Williams. He's just got to show up.
The problem with that is Russ threw the ball, what'd you say? 22 times? He targeted against the Eagles,
times.
Right?
He completed.
Oh, is that the first game around?
Yeah, against the Ravens.
Okay, well, I'm talking last week against the Eagles. Russ threw 22 times.
Yep.
So
22.
The problem is he only targeted Mike Williams twice.
Yeah.
You didn't only run 2 routes. Your ass got to get open.
Yeah. Calvin Austin was 5 for 65 out of the slot. And I get it. Teams are a little different. And that's what he's supposed to do. Mike Williams, 1 catch for 15 yards on 2 targets.
That's not going to get it. Now, the stats you read from the first game, okay, I'll give him a pass. He just got there. He had just gotten there. No, brother, you've been there now. You've seen this. Mike Williams should have at least 8 targets, 6, 7 catches, and get close to that 100-yard mark and put the ball in the back of the end zone one time.
He has to.
He has to. He has to. Their defensive backfield, Kyle Hamilton is amazing. Everybody else is just average now. Even Marlon Humphreys, he's older. He's average now. Yep. If Pickens plays with Pickens, Austin, and Williams, they don't have enough people to guard everybody. Because you can't just run at what's his name? Roquan Smith. You can't run at him. Shit, is you crazy? Is you crazy? Don't nobody want to keep bumping their head on that wall. So you got to do better than that. So they got to figure something else out.
It's going to be really interesting. I think that we're up against another test here for Arthur Smith. And obviously, and for Mike Williams. I mean, is there a chance, and this will be the last question I ask before I get your prediction for the game, is there a chance that it's not so much Mike Williams, but Russ just isn't comfortable with him like he is with Calvin, like he is with Darnell, like he is with Pat? I'm excluding George Pickens because obviously their rapport is that's a quarterback and his number 1 receiver. That's locked in. Every quarterback is comfortable with an open receiver. Okay, fair enough.
Get your ass open.
Fair enough.
Get open. Every quarterback's comfortable with an open receiver. Everybody else running open. You get open.
All right, so let's pretend Mike Williams gets open because that's what we're going to want to have happen here. What are you seeing? What are you seeing for this game?
24-20 Steelers. We got to close them out. You got to close them out. You can't let these fools and then have to go back there in the playoffs. You do not want that.
Nope. And
you got a chance to end this shit this week. Go win it. 24-20.
I'm going to say it is man, oh man, oh man. Man, this game is going to be tough. You know what? I'm going with you. I hate to do it. I like to be a little different every now and again. I'm just going to have to stick with you this week. 24-20.
There it is.
It's too right there.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't argue it. It's just two right there to be off.
You got a chance to close this whole thing out.
Got to
go ahead and close it out. That way, if TJ Watt's ankle's a little sore, you rest him on Christmas Day. Even though that'll drive Netflix and NFL crazy because they want to see the stars play 4 days later, which is fucking ignorant. But at least we don't have to travel. Nonetheless, if you win this game, you can rest some of your players on that day because you're not catching the Chiefs unless Mahomes' injury is worse than they think or worse than they're saying. You might catch them, but then Buffalo will catch them. You won't. So So you got to leap Buffalo and them. So if we can win this one, we can actually. You got the division, you got the playoffs already. You can rest a TJ Watt or only have him play 1 or 2 plays every series just to, keep him going, but not run him out there like that. You can get Justin Fields more involved, give teams more stuff to think about down the stretch. So it's going to be real interesting. So I think Pittsburgh and Arthur Smith, man, call me. But I'm looking for him to fire every bullet he got. Fire him now. Go ahead.
Oh, you have
you draw up more plays. I mean, but you got to open this thing up and let's go. It should be 24-20 Steelers to steal this thing on the road and shut these boys down.
That's what I'm looking for. And look, I know we like to talk about the 1 seed, the 2 seed, the 3 seed. Yeah. The Bills are ending with the Patriots twice. They're winning those games. You're not catching the Bills. I know they're only a game ahead. They're winning out. Josh Allen's on an MVP hunt. They play the
Patriots. They play the Patriots twice, and I think the Jets once. That thing is over. I mean, so
focus on the division.
You're playing for the 2 seed. If you can catch the Chiefs, you'll get the 2 seed.
And even then, I don't care about going to Kansas City in the playoffs. Let's just focus, get this divisional win, lock this sucker up, get our 3 seed, and let's get ready to host a playoff game. Am I right?
No, you're 100% right.
With that, nope, we're ending right there. He said I'm right for the first time in the history of 6 Rings and Counting. For Lou Willard, I'm Corey Idle. You know what it is. 6 Rings and Counting. We'll see you next week.